Kinsey Knuckles for digs in a season for a freshman.
Yeah, I mean, just an incredible freshman season, and probably a little bit sooner, you know, as we talked about Kinsey Knuckles, that was the completion of her season. We're early here, and so just a great season for her, and she's fun to watch.
Yeah, and interesting to, think that Knuckles is really doing it in fewer games, or check that, Rodriguez is doing it in fewer games than Knuckles, given that they had a couple of games canceled due to COVID.
Right.
Rutgers didn't travel in for health reasons outside of COVID, and here she is just beginning the NCAA tournament and will break that record tonight here at home. So Nebraska opens up the NCAA tournament here at the Devaney Sports Center tonight against the Campbell Camels. The Camels are the champions of the Big South. Finished the year at 21-9, 14-2 in their conference. They beat High Point, which is one of the conference stalwarts in volleyball. Nebraska, in fact, in 2019 had High Point in their Emeritus Classic tournament. So Nebraska has seen High Point, another Big South team. First point of the match for Nebraska as that swing goes long.
Well, and this is their first trip to the NCAA tournament, and so they're a great opportunity. And as we talked to Coach last night, he just said, what a perfect environment for our first experience. And they also embraced Nebraska, and it was very complimentary. There's intelligent fans there. They're friendly fans. Yeah. They're going to cheer for good things that we do. So he told his team just to embrace it and enjoy the opportunity.
And first serve for Nebraska by Kinsey Knuckles is an ace. Great up by Knuckles, the back row. Nebraska runs the middle, block back, and the Camels on the board.
Cook there at the block. Both of these teams are outstanding in their defensive play this year. Nebraska actually keeping opponents to hitting percentage of 147, but the Camels also, they led the Big South and they kept their opponents to 152. So two very strong defensive teams. They pride themselves in great floor defense as well as up at the net. So it should be fun.
Block back early on. They'll go right back to Caffey again. That time, Kayla Caffey finds the floor.
Melody Page was up there with that first one, but Caffey comes around and appears in a different location along there. That's just the great work that she's done all year, moving around, finding a way to be eligible and getting open.
You mentioned earlier Greg Gorell's kind of approach coming in here to the Devaney Sports Center. He tweeted out, tomorrow we play in our first ever NCAA tournament in the Mecca of college volleyball world. He said, no place I'd rather be than in front of 8,000 fans who truly appreciate the sport. That was his tweet yesterday as his team practiced here for the first time at the Devaney Sports Center.
He's really done a tremendous job, too, coming into this program that was not a strong program at a school that is really strong in most of its athletic programs, and so he's really done a great job in the 9 years he's been there. Kinsey Knuckles there, that back row attack. We talked about her taking on a different role. One of those pieces of that new change and responsibility is being a back row attacker.
So Nebraska's serve here early on causing fits for Campbell. They're down 5-1 and have struggled to get in system early on. Stivrins with the block touch there. Out of system, Rodriguez goes behind to Kubik, who goes off the top of the block. Good block touch by Campbell. And then the swing and a kill.
Layla Green. She's one of those players that does a lot for this team. She plays all 6 rotations. She's preseason all-conference and kind of one of those outside hitters that even in out-of-system situations really does positive things with the ball.
Run the middle. There's Lauren Stivrins.
Just a nice quick transition there. She went in between the blockers, just going up and appearing not right in front of that setter, but just moved herself away, creating a lot of open space to swing at.
So back to serve now for Nebraska is Keanile Akana. Akana with 3+ aces in matches 4 times this season. In fact, if you looked at what she's done over the last 2 matches that Nebraska's played against Wisconsin and Purdue, she has 8 aces in those 2 matches.
And that's been one of the focuses she's had all season, is to just go back there and really be aggressive with that serve. And talk about being aggressive there. Lauren Stivrins, as she comes around on that slide, just rips that ball down the line and off the hand.
It's 7-2 run to open it up for Nebraska here in set 1. Akana again. Puts him out of system. Here's Green out of system. Great up by Rodriguez. Right back to Kubik off the top of the hands. Good up by Fletcher in the black. And that is just long, no touch. Point for the Huskers.
You know, Fletcher is doing a great job on defense in the back row for the Camels. She's really one of those very athletic people. She really works hard and lays out and gets her hand on a lot of balls.
First time out here in Lincoln for the Camels. Nebraska on top, 8-2. We'll be back.
Tis the season for more at Metro by T-Mobile with a free Samsung Galaxy tablet, so you can have more time to connect with what really matters. Get unlimited data for just $15 a month on your free Samsung Galaxy tablet. Only at Metro.
You're not Peter Parker.
I am so confused.
We started getting some visitors from every universe.
This is all my fault.
They all die fighting Spider-Man.
There has to be another way.
There isn't. Exclusively in movie theaters, December 17, PG-13.
As a small business owner, efficient equipment is essential to operating your business. SoCal Gas is here to help with a variety of energy-saving rebates, like up to $1,000 off tankless hot water heaters. Visit SoCalGas.com/business rebates.
All the gifts you really, really, really can't wait to unwrap. Joy fully.
(8-2) Nebraska on top. Fans getting creative with their signs here tonight.
Having fun. We've got some really fun signs though too. People are here and pretty creative.
Huskers on top here, 8-2 early on. Nebraska all-time in first-round games in the NCAA tournament, 33-1. They've won 32 straight, dating back to 1984 in the first round. Rodriguez keeps that alive, outside to Kubik, cuts it in, good dig by Fletcher in the back row. And then just off of the block, Layla Green with her second kill.
Green just doing a great job being aggressive on the outside, swinging hard. And as you notice there too, she does a great job getting outside off the court so she can really drive into that ball.
Already 8 swings for Layla Green. Coach Gorel talked about many things go through Layla Green. No touch there, point for Campbell. Stivrins went high hand hunting and missed. It's 8-4. Serving for the Camels, Emily Mitter. What an angle. Great swing and a kill. Maddie Kubik.
I just love that cut shot. She does a great job here getting on top of that ball and taking that really sharp angle, rotates that wrist, that thumb down, and really slices it parallel to the net.
So let's see who Nebraska targets here in serve receive. They'll go at Layla, who puts him out of system and gets it right back for the swing. Then Stivrins' block is there. Good serve there by Maddie Kubik.
Nebraska's really been focusing on that strong serve, and they've done very well with it as of late. Talk about winning in the serve and pass game, but really keeping the pressure on, and here pushing the Green back, taking her out of the offense potentially, or at least making her work hard to get involved in it. She does a great job here, takes it inside, block up a little bit early, and Green takes advantage of it.
3 kills, 3 hitting errors for Green here early on. 10 swings right at 0. Nebraska hitting 200 early on at 10-5. Green, a junior out of Bakersfield, California, with that last serve. There is Stivrins. Went into the block, and Lauren Stivrins picks up her 3rd kill.
She's so smooth on that slide, and no matter where the setter puts it up, she is able to get to that ball and get her hand on the ball.
Batenhorst and Caffey in the front row for Nebraska. Back to serve is Stivrins. They continue to go after Green in serve. Good one, handed up. What a dig by Haynes. And then the block touch by Haynes. And then the set by Haynes. Nope, not down. Batenhorst a little too tight, gets blocked. Patterson.
Tight ball there, coming from behind the ball also. Batenhorst didn't have a lot she could do with it. And the Camels on top.
Clarion Fector now back to serve. She's the outstanding libero out of Powell, Ohio.
She's just an outstanding athlete. I'm talking to Coach, he said if she would have been a little bit taller, this is a gal who could play in the Power 5. You know, I mean, she's 5'9", she's long and does a great job. We've already seen some really great plays with her on defense early on, and just one of those players that really you count on, you love having on your team.
Rodriguez with that last dig has broken the Nebraska freshman record for digs in a season. So your new freshman record holder is Lexi Rodriguez. And speaking of freshmen, there's Batenhorst tooling the block.
Nice swing there by Batenhorst, tooling off the block. This time she gets a ball that she can really drive to and takes advantage.
Kathy Batenhorst late in the season has played a bigger role. She had the big role early in the year, sat the bench when Sun came in as there's an ace by Haynes, but Batenhorst against Purdue really played well.
You know, and that's the thing, Nebraska's so deep, and they've been able to, if somebody's struggling a little bit, that's okay. We've got somebody from the bench that we'll call on, and it's kind of the thought process of Coach Cook, and Batenhorst has stepped in, and she's one of those super freshmen that has come out and done some really good things, but you also see some inconsistencies. She's just working on getting more consistent. There's one of those, and did call the touch.
High hands, Batenhorst got the call, and Allie Batenhorst with 2 kills on 3 swings.
So it's fun to see again the growth too, and again the ability to use your bench to come in and keep the level high.
Looks like maybe out of rotation. So violation now, Nebraska by 10 at 16-6 here in set 1. Haynes still serving on a 5-0 run for Nebraska.
Just a great tough serves. They're just dropping on. Nice job there by the Camels there to get an attack and side out.
Already Nebraska with 3 aces here in set number 1. Great movement on that serve, but the movement took it out of bounds.
Nebraska, Rodriguez did a nice job following it all the way to the line to make sure she knew.
Kinsey Knuckles with that ace earlier, 26 on the season now, and back to serve for Nebraska. Ran the quick middle, Patterson not down. Point for the Camels.
I think they said Haynes stepped under. And then that call can only be made if her whole foot goes across. So
tip not down. Bump set out to Green. Good pass. Run in the middle. And Caffey with the kill.
really see Haynes pushing that middle, any opportunity she has to do that. And with Kathy up front, she does a great job getting in position, making herself eligible, appearing different places to keep the blockers off balance and have a lot of court to swing at or a lot of floor to look at.
Another tough serve, tight to the net. Nice set from behind, but the swing just wide. Good aggressive swing by Kala, one of the better players for the Camels.
Kala, they will utilize her sometimes on the right side, sometimes on the left side. She's a big swinger, as you just saw. She's got a lot of power, just missed her mark there, but they feel like she really gives them some different dimensions when she can attack from different rotations in different locations.
Kala again is blocked, got a hand on it, point for Nebraska.
Stivrins working hard there, blocked middle, release to the outside, got to the back with Colin and her, and Kubik, big block.
Nebraska on top by 12 here in set number 1. Timeout for the Camels, we'll take one as well. So back at the Bob Devaney Sports Center here in Lincoln, round 1 action of the NCAA tournament. Nebraska hosting the Camels of Campbell out of the Big South Conference. They won the Big South Conference tournament and earned their first ever bid into this NCAA tournament, their first postseason bid in more than 2 decades. 20-8 is the 29 now is the score. Before that, Nebraska was on a 9-2 run. Haynes leaves it for Stivrins. Good block touch for the Camels. Here's Green inside, rolled over.
Great up by Kenzie Knuckles.
And it leads to the point for Nebraska.
Just a great up there by Kenzie Knuckles. Diving in, and really the key on defense too is firing and shooting underneath that ball, and that's exactly what she did.
Serve is long by Akana. Emily Mitter serving now for the Camels. On the slide,
wow.
There's Stivrins right through the block. 4 for Stivrins here early.
Now look at it again. I think she went over the top of that block there, and the block didn't close either, but she's so dynamic and quick as she comes around on that slide. Just the speed of her arm. Again, keeping that pressure on Green with the serve.
Back row rolled by Kubik. Good up. Green sends it over. Free ball opportunity here for Nebraska. Back row, Kubik. No touch, and that's long. Point for the Camels. Fourth hitting error here in set one on Nebraska. And the ace, there's Layla Green dropping one in. That is her 33rd ace of the season. That's second on this Campbell squad.
She really does so many good things for the Camels. I mean, from her defensive play, she's averaging 2.6 kills per set. She's involved in the block.
Yeah. So Stivrins now back to serve. Stivrins into the net. Served well at Purdue until she had back-to-back serves go into the net.
Great pass by Rodriguez, too. We talk about her defense, but she does a lot in serve receive as well.
Caffey hung long enough to get a hand on that. Nebraska now at set point here in set number one. It's 24-13. Back to serve for it, Nicklin Haynes. Third service error in the first set for Nebraska. 24-14 here in the first. Now coming in for Campbell is Maddie Miner, senior out of North Branch, Michigan. North Branch High School into serve. She has 40 aces on the year. Angles it again, great up by Rodriguez. Actually got a pass off somehow, and then Krause closes it out from the left pin. Well, what a remarkable up by Rodriguez. Negative 069. 25-14 the final in set number one. Speaking of lopsided first game wins, just 50 miles away from here, the Kansas Jayhawks have taken set number one from the Creighton Blue Jays 25-13. They're in set number two in Omaha. Huskers led right now by Lauren Stivrins, who has 4 kills, hitting .500.
Not far behind is Kayla Caffey. Again, we talked about saw Haynes really trying to push to her as well. So both middles really very active here in the match.
Once again, Nebraska opens up set number two with 3 freshmen on the floor. There's one of them, Batenhorst with the swing. And then right into the block, and Kayla Caffey got the hand on it.
Caffey and another freshman, Krause there on that block, both of them. Key always is that setup, and Caffey does such a great job closing. She's quick to the outside, and that's the key too in that situation, making sure they're working together.
John Cook has said many times one of the things that he just loves is the ace again. That's the second ace of the match, 28th of the season for Nicklin Haynes. Just to rejoin that thought, one of the things he loves about Krause is work ethic, desire to get better, gets to the gym, no nonsense, continually trying to improve her game. She has a desire to absolutely be the best and play beyond her collegiate career. It's a good run in the middle there. Haley Wilson got the kill.
Wilson does a nice job here getting in the gap and then really turning it. I like that quick arm that she has and fires that ball through the seam.
Fector with the driving serve. Run to Caffey, and Caffey with another kill. She now has 4.
And you can just see the intentionality of Nebraska and Haynes pushing that middle, getting them involved. Know that that's really an important part of their offense, to diversify instead of having just to use that outside. That's been something Haynes has been really working on and trying to get her to get more hitters involved.
Haynes to Caffey again, and that was leveled by Caffey.
Dynamite swing there, but you got to credit Haynes there. She got pulled off the net, and she turned and fired that ball back right into the hands. You can see as she rotates there and pushes that right into the hands of Caffey. Keeps it in front of her so she can see. That gives her the view to see what's in front of her as far as blockers and open spaces.
Tip try great up. Nebraska, though, could not keep it up, and the kill on the tip by the Campbells.
Good change up there to mix things up, and that tip over the block. Rodriguez got her hands on it, but teammates couldn't finish it off.
Here is Maddie Miner. Good pass. Caffey again, but the block is there that time. Melody Page with the block.
And great celebration there on the Camels side of the court. Just fun to have a big block against a big hitter like Caffey. And I actually think Cook celebrated that more even than Page.
Caffey again, that time no block. Deep line and another kill for Caffey.
Caffey just keeps producing up there. That is 6, I believe, for her. With that last swing, 6 out of 10, hitting 400.
Back in is Stivrins. She's up front along with Kubik and Krause. Plenty of options for the Huskers. And there is Stivrins with the block, and that is the 5th block for Nebraska.
And just such a big block there with Kubik and Stivrins. Both of them sitting right on top of that ball. I don't even know if he crossed the tape. Got sealed up tight.
Pulled inside. Nebraska with the block touch. Oh, great up off a hard swing by Kubik.
Fector is just doing some really nice things.
Second touch not done. Bump set out to Krause.
Good adjustment there to take a little bit off, keep it in play.
Good inside push and a kill by Chloe Cook.
Cook, nice job knowing what's open. That's one of the things Coach said about this Camels team. They'll find ways to win. They're gritty. They will compete. They'll do whatever it needs to take. And the other thing, too, he was very complimentary about making adjustments. We work to make adjustments, and players try to be very intelligent. We teach them to have high IQs and be really crisp with what we're doing. Talk about crisp and sharp with that block. Right on top of that, Stivrins and Krause. Well done.
So Keani Akana into serve again for the Huskers. 7-4 here in set number 2. It does seem, Kathy, like the Camels have adjusted a bit here in the second to the pace of play.
Sometimes that's the biggest thing, the tempo, and when you've got a team like Nebraska who's really pushes tempo and controlling that, it's sometimes just figuring out, okay, got to catch up to see what it looks like. The other thing we talked about, the service aces, the speed of the serve and the difficulty of the serve.
Knuckles out of the back row picks up her second kill of the match. 2 for 2 for Kinsey Knuckles.
I just think it's fun to watch her work back there from that back row as a high school outside. Had the opportunity here to start swinging at the ball again after moving from the libero position into this new defensive specialist role.
5 service errors, and we're early in the second set here for Nebraska.
And most of them have been tape. They haven't been long. They've been, and Nebraska has been serving a lot of short balls, and maybe part of that.
On the slide, there is Stivrins off the block and long. Point for Lauren Stivrins.
She does a tremendous job of finding ways to get kills. High hands, cut it cross court, tool it off the block, off the outside edges. Just our super senior, you might say, for many reasons, not just that she's taking that extra year.
Just long off the swing by Ananda Patterson. The Nebraska serve again put the Campbells in a tough situation. Awkward short serve there by Stivrins, almost a
and we talked about
floater.
Yep.
And another block for the Campbells. They have 4 blocks now, just 2 behind Nebraska.
I'll give the goods there to Wilson. I'm not sure that cross tape. Well, I think it was Wilson. Hard to see, a little bit low and tight. The block was right there to stop it.
Layla Green back to serve again. Again, 33 aces on the year for Green, and another one that just drops.
And just tough serve, but gotta credit Akana there. Right on the dime, right where Haynes had all options.
Allie Batenhorst picks up her second kill. Tough serve there by Haynes, just cleared the tape. But what a great pass and a middle run. Haley Wilson with the kill.
Came right up to the hands of Mitter, and she gave it to Wilson right quick, just in the hands and up to Mitter, or excuse me, up to Wilson.
Campbell's hanging right in here in set number 2. It's 8-11 despite Nebraska hitting over 300 here in this set and the match, and the Campbell's hitting right at 0.
You know, Nebraska's block and serve is really, again, limited, but we're seeing some really nice things from the Campbells different times when they get an opportunity, just like that last swing by Wilson. We've seen some good things from Green in certain circumstances. So
middle run again, there was no touch. That was shot into the Nebraska bench.
Well, and Wilson there knows she's got 2 big blockers in front of her, and so it's like, how do I work around this or get around this, and just a kind of an uphill battle there with the large block of Nebraska.
Overpass.
Good job there by Rodriguez to call off Haynes.
Good cover. Well, what a shot by Kubik, who just kind of brushed it off the hands, went back against her momentum to take it off the hands and get the kill.
Just like, again, that she was aggressive. That ball came out of Haynes, passed it back over her shoulder, but Kubik stayed aggressive with it, but also smart, not to the point of not making a good decision.
Another short serve. Off the block for the Huskers. Here's Haynes, leaves it for Caffey. No touch, and that is long, and it will end Nebraska's 3-0 run.
This Caffey was almost right on top of Haynes and didn't have much room to work with there. Everything was real tight, and so tough ball.
Good serve by Minor.
Nice change of direction there by Haynes, and then the finish off by Krause. Lindsay Krause does a great job getting her feet to the ball on that right side.
Nebraska the first to 15 here in set number 2. They lead it 1-0, winning the first 25-14. We'll be back. From the Bob Devaney Sports Center here in Lincoln, along with Kathy Wieskamp, I'm Larry Putney. Good to have you with us for first round action of this NCAA volleyball tournament. We'll be right back with you tomorrow night for second round action between Florida State and the winner of this Nebraska and Campbell battle. Out of the timeout, Kalla with the swing that goes into the antenna.
But just some great defense and reaction there by Nebraska on a big swing. Kept it up and alive. Nebraska's really prided themselves on great defensive play this season, and kind of have some rotations where we got what we call the littles in the back row, right? Seeing the 3 defensive players in the back row really doing some great things, and it's tough to get the ball down on the Nebraska side of the court when they're all in the back row.
And as good as Nebraska is serving right now, Campbell's first touch has been terrific, allowed them to run the middles, and that's where, Kathy, they've had most of their success.
Yep, definitely. And they're, I was just in the net there, got the call. But you're right, the middles have really done a good job. One thing that's kind of interesting with this Campbell team, they're running 2-setter system, and they sub the setters in for the middles. And so it's different than most rotations generally is for the right side, but again, they found this works well for them. It gives them some variety of options with their offense, and it's really, you got to pay attention, but it's kind of fun to see, again, finding ways to make your players maximize their talents and the abilities in rotations.
33 aces now on the year for Keani Leakana, and that is 9 aces in the last 3 matches for Akana. Nebraska now with 5, let's make it 6 aces in the match. Just inside the back line, and a kill by Green. A nice job by Fector on the quick pass to get them in system.
4th kill there for Green. She's working, trying to get herself in that positive. She's had 4 errors as well. But she leads all hitters for the Campbells with those 4.
Back row. There was a touch, and Nichols is 3 for 3 out of the back row.
And they really need lead Knuckles so that she's taking off just behind that, but again, it allows her to really drive and follow through with that ball.
Middle again, that time right at Haynes, and the kill for Patterson.
And as you mentioned, again, the middle has been the most productive offensive location for the Camels.
Wilson with 3 kills on 7 swings. Speaking of middles, there's the Stivrins slide.
And I guess as we're talking about it, both middles have been very productive here. Nebraska, both Kayla Caffey with 7, Stivrins with 5, or excuse me, make that 6. So between the 2 of them, they've got 13 of the 25 in this match.
Back to Green, rolled it over. Haynes is there, kind of the out-of-system set. Batenhorst with a nice swing. And a free ball here for Nebraska.
Pushing behind. No, goes in front.
Pulled Batenhorst in just a bit. And then trying to go line was Green, but that's just wide with no touch. And Nebraska 4 away from going up 2-0. And a timeout taken by head coach Greg Gorel. Gorel and the Camels down 21-12 here in set number 2. Good crowd tonight here at the Bob Devaney Sports Center, 8,000 plus. Once again, Nebraska leads the nation in attendance once again this year with over 8,200 per match. Packed house again to watch this first round of NCAA action. And out of the timeout, Kayla Caffey with Nebraska's 7th block of the match. Quick substitution coming in for the Camels. Emily Camp, the freshman out of Palatine, Illinois.
Coach Gorel said, too, we've got the 6'3" freshman that I won't hesitate to bring in. Still learning and developing, but she really adds another element to us, and if we need her, I'm not going to hesitate to use her.
Haley Wilson in the middle with a kill. Wilson now with 4 kills to tie for the lead for the Camels.
She's doing a great job trying to come in, and they're working her in that 3 zone, kind of in between the 2 blockers, trying to catch a seam, and it's worked for them.
Another tough serve there by Green. Here's Batenhorst inside, and that no touch in just wide on the attempted kill by Batenhorst. Allie Batenhorst won that starting left side role in camp, but then struggled about halfway through the season, came off the bench later in the year, picked up 11 kills, hit .333. John Cook gave her another chance, and she's been solid over the last 3 or 4 matches for the Huskers. Here's Batenhorst again with the tip.
Really nice job there. Batenhorst came across and played defense basically to midcourt, picked up that tip, but then went in that inside spot and then knew the block was pushed in. You just got to know where the players are, the defense that they're setting up in, and find those open spaces on the court, and that's exactly what she did.
Nebraska 2 away from going up 2-0. Mistimed. Looked like Cook was looking for a little faster set out to the pin. Miscommunication, and Nebraska now at set point here in set number 2. Haynes to serve for it.
Great up there by Batenhorst.
Krause got a hand on it. Outside Batenhorst.
Great
up
defense
by the Camels. Here's Krause one-on-one. Got it. Lindsey Krause closes it out in set number 1 for Nebraska. And the Huskers take the first 2 sets in identical fashion. 25-14, Nebraska hitting .322 in the match. The Camels negative .052, and Nebraska leads it 2 sets. The Big South Conference won the Big South Conference Tournament Championship, knocked off High Point in 5 sets, won that 5th set 15-12. Lexi Sun getting a start here in set number 3 for Nebraska. Sarah Kalla will serve to start the 3rd set for the Camels. Earlier tonight here in the first round, it was Florida State sweeping Kansas State. Wildcats just could not get anything going. High error and really struggled against the Seminoles. There is Green with that swing from the left side. They go back to her again. Nebraska's blocked there twice in a row. That time tipped over it. And there is Whitney Lonstein from that left pin.
Sorry, a little different lineup here. Lexi Sun in and Lonstein in. Lonstein, just a freshman, as we said, has been an impact player as of late. Come in, just such an athletic player out on the court. She also plays with a lot of passion and energy. It's been a big spark.
Clearly, this year Nebraska will go as far in this tournament as its defense will allow them. That's been, the one bright spot of this Nebraska team this year is just one of the top defensive teams in the country, holding opponents to 147. That's best in the Big Ten Conference, number 10 overall. So as their defense goes, this team will go. But when you look to the future, Kathy, and you see the talent that is on the floor and the freshman talent, Rodriguez named Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year, and then you have 3 dynamic hitters in Lonstein, Batenhorst, and Krause. Let's talk about the future of this core group of Huskers.
I mean, this is a class that has come in, and they've got a lot of experience because some of these players have played internationally also.
Right.
And so they've seen the big league, before. So those are core players that are on the court right now, and I think they're going to be key. I think Lonstein right there. Woo. I mean, that's the type of play you can get from her. She's actually a player that I would say is very raw, just is so athletic. But if this is what she's playing in a raw stage, and coach has time to work with her and develop her, I think you're going to just see some incredible things with the players here, and the future looks really bright. We always talk about the freshman class, but they keep coming in.
Right.
You keep seeing this class and talk about it. What's the next one going to look like, too? There's some really positive prospects in the next rounds as well.
Well, and Maddie Kubik coming back as well. It gives Nebraska multiple options at the outside. I think the question mark for Nebraska next year would be in the middle, right? Lauren Stivrins clearly moving on. Does Kayla Caffey come back and take advantage of an extra year that she would be provided through COVID?
And she's actually already, you got to look at her big picture. I mean, she's graduated and she's in a master's program and had a couple years to work on that as she's been here. And so you're right, those are decisions to make, and I'm sure that's something that once the season's over, we'll evaluate. But if not, actually, Nebraska doesn't have a lot of middles with experience on the court. You've got Myers that's been training in that position, but I'm sure it would have a nice spark and a strength for Nebraska if she chooses to stay there.
And of course, Callie Schwarzenbach
yeah,
be back as well. She's a former starter for Nebraska at the middle. Deciding whether to challenge here, and it doesn't look like Nebraska will challenge at 4-3. Yep, they will challenge. So Nebraska is challenging a touch on that last play. I didn't see the actual official.
No.
Well, Coach Cook just held it up. Or maybe are they looking at rotation? That might be another.
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah. Hildebrand, I think, was asking, so they're at the book at this point versus at the monitor.
Right. So delay here to figure out what the rotation was and if the Campbells were in the proper rotation on that last play.
And we talked about that too. Coach Garrell often will change up the lineup and make some adjustments or make different rotations to try and get different matchups, and so that could be the situation. I think they're kind of talking it over. The coaches are kind of looking to, and the team's getting squared away. So we'll see what the situation is, but I'm sure they'll get it straightened out.
R2 for this match is Mary Farragher. She's chatting it over, figuring it out with the officiating crew on the scorers table. Nebraska on top here, 2-0, winning the first two in identical scores at 25-14. 4-3 here in the third.
Nebraska's offense has been very, efficient there. In the match, they're hitting .333. Middles have taken the majority of the load offensively, but you've got just really a lot of people involved in it. You've got Krause, you've got Knuckles involved in back row attack with 3. But so we've got Batenhorst with 3, Kubik and Knuckles each with 3, Krause with 4, and then Stivrins 6 and Caffey 7. So right up the lineup there. Whitney Lonstein is coming this one, and third set, and has 2 kills too. So really a lot of attackers involved in the offense.
Well, just about, as we said earlier, 50 miles from here, the Creighton Blue Jays are hosting rounds 1 and 2 at home, and they are down 2-0 to the Jayhawks. Kansas Jayhawks winning the first 25-13, and then in extra points in the second, won it 26-24. So Nebraska's other Division I team in the state that's in the postseason is down 2-0.
So now
this might be the
official kind of clarifying and talking to coaches, I think. And then the down official.
This is what the officiating crew certainly doesn't want to see. Coaches don't want to see is this type of long delay, trying to figure out were they in the right rotation, what rotation should they be in. Coach Girl and Mary Farragut are still chatting about it. She goes back to the scores table again to clarify. We can take a look around the rest of the NCAA tournament from today. Purdue survived a 5-setter with Dayton. Purdue was down 2-0 and came back and won sets 4 and 5 just in dominating fashion, allowing a total of 11 points to Dayton in the 4th and 5th.
And actually in those last 3 sets, they had a total of 26 points accumulative.
Right.
Once Purdue decided, okay,
right.
Being down 2-0 isn't good.
Guess it's time.
Turn it on.
So it will be a point for Nebraska, and now Coach Goro wanted clarification. Our in-arena announcer reminding fans that flash photography and lights not allowed. Fans pulled them out during the break, right? I mean, let's lighten up,
just don't want to didn't want to interfere in the contest, but this has been in kind of our break.
And they are still reviewing it. So
it's something with the lineup of Campbell and.
So Kathy, what they determined was there was a rotation violation by Campbell. They awarded the point to Nebraska, and now maybe figuring out where they should be.
Yeah, it could be a matter of what was turned in, if the number, like we talked about, if they rotated or not, or if just miswrote the number, something of that sort. They're getting that cleared up, so they want to make sure then that the players are where they're supposed to be, and it's clear at this point and correct. So while this is kind of distracting from the game, the fans have kind of found ways to stay engaged. And
you can see Coach Cook is now up off his chair wondering, okay, what is taking so long? This is getting beyond the point of absurdity here.
The lineup again we should be able to fix that cleanly and quickly.
As they continue to figure it out here in Lincoln, we're going to take a break. We'll be back here at the Devaney Sports Center on the other side of the confusion.
We think we're there now.
That looked like they were figuring out the rotation on Nebraska's side as well.
Well, just because if they was out of rotation, when did that occur? I think that's part of it. It was just on that last play, and then just clarifying, we've been standing and waiting around. Just wanted to make sure that we had the right people on.
So they reversed the last point. Nebraska now on top 5-2. Akana still to serve for Nebraska, although they have not given the signal to serve yet, and the Campbell's still figuring out what their rotation should look like.
And make some subs, and probably because I'm just interpreting from a long distance here. They've got somebody out of position or put in the lineup at a different location.
Well, we've been doing volleyball together for 20 years, Kathy, and I don't think I've ever seen this in 20 years, this long of a delay to figure out rotation.
Yep.
And the whistle has been blown to signal resumption of play, and here is Kiani Leakana to serve. On the overpass, point for Nebraska. Back row attack called to the Camels. Back to Patterson. Dig by Rodriguez. Back row attack. No touch, point for Campbell. And John Cook is going to challenge.
I mean, and he trusts his players. Yeah. He's looking at them, but that slows again the game. We just got started and it slows it down again. But
well, it was interesting. You could tell that he was like, it's 6-3. We're in the third. Maybe I'm not going to challenge. And then he got that look from Kinsey Knuckles that was like, come on.
Come on. And so actually it's fun to watch him. He's kind of grinning and she's like, I know.
Yep. He's like, before that swing coach, I was 3 of 3. I'd like to stay perfect here if you don't mind.
I'm on a roll here.
So to the monitor goes Mary Farragher. She'll see if on the in-house video replay system they can identify a touch on the Camels. Obviously, it has to be conclusive. Fans here at Devaney now into the wave, which is always a sign of great intensity within the arena and focus.
Well, it talks about, again, the fans that we are seeing here, that they're finding ways to stay engaged during these times.
There's the positive spin.
Yep.
It's not because we've been waiting for 15 minutes for one play.
But you also have, but you also have to look at the teams on the sideline, because they all have their routines in these little side out, or excuse me, these challenges, and so they all have their own little game within the game, you might say.
I think the Nebraska bench is playing charades right now.
Yep.
And there's the wave.
Yep, it's just went from slow-mo to acceleration.
Here you go.
Here's yep. Mixer. Let's play. The play of the game with the sideline.
Here's a look at the replay, trying to see if it did go off the side of the arm, and again, looking for it to be conclusive, which might be difficult with those two angles that we saw there, but there are multiple angles in the arena. Mary Farragher has already made her decision. She's gone back to the table to see if it will stand or if it will be overturned. First challenge for John Cook, and point for the Camels. (6-3) Nebraska here in the third. I'll go right back to her. Yeah. Says, all right, that last one didn't work.
Yes,
we'll do it again.
She says.
Kubik back to serve now. Sun in the front row along with Stivrins. Off the touch. Bump set. Sun sends that back over. One-on-one does not clear the net, and that's going to be into the net called.
Chloe, I believe Chloe Cook trying to be aggressive with that ball and in the net.
Two teams very similar in attacks here tonight. Campbell with 68 swings, Nebraska with 66, but the Huskers with twice as many kills, 31-15, and there's another one.
Haynes getting involved and getting in the kill category here statistically tonight. I think every player out on the court, other than the defensive specialists, and actually their Knuckles involved in the kill stats as well.
Into the game now for the Camels is McKenna Shaka, number 14, sophomore out of Monument, Colorado. Serve long from Kubik.
Nebraska's sixth service error.
Good pass on the slide. Stivrins got the touch and the kill.
Kubik doing a great job there, getting that ball in the hands of Haynes, so she was in system. When you've got Stivrins up front running her around behind in that situation. Crowd cheering here as Callie Schwarzenbach comes in.
Great reaction from the crowd for Schwarzenbach.
And a great serve there. Service ace for Lauren Stivrins. That would be Nebraska's sixth service ace.
Another driving serve by Stivrins. Pulled inside, block touch by Haynes.
Haynes, great job adjusting as she was one-on-one there, stepped in.
Good set behind,
Kubik.
Great up by Kubik. Block sent back, kind of with the bump set to Sun, not down. Oh, good one-handed up.
Fector is tough back there.
Out of the back row.
Good net bounce there, I believe.
Longest rally, there is Schwarzenbach.
And the Husker fans on their feet celebrating Callie Schwarzenbach.
One of those players who shows up day after day in practice, makes everybody around her better, getting her opportunity here in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Time out on the floor, Nebraska on top, 12-4.
This is the dimension of imagination.
As a small business owner, efficient equipment is essential to operating your business. SoCalGas is here to help with a variety of energy-saving rebates, like up to $1,000 off tankless hot water heaters. Visit SoCalGas.com/business rebates.
Do you recall, not long ago, we would walk on the sidewalk. All around, when the wind blows, we would only hold on to let go. Blow a kiss into the sun, we need someone to lean on. Blow a kiss into the sun, all we need is somebody to lean on.
The NCAA tournament. Nebraska in the match, hitting 342, 429 in this set. Campbell negative 0.56 for the match, negative 0.71 here in the third.
Nebraska making a few subs here, bringing in Krause and Ani Evans. They've utilized her to come in and serve, and I wouldn't be surprised they leave her in to do a little setting here.
Yeah. Ani Evans in to serve, the sophomore out of Waverly. Big moment really early in the year for Orr when she came in place of Orr and led Nebraska to the win against Kansas State. Big block there by Schwarzenbach. They'll leave it for her, punches it over, not down. And then off of the hands of Schwarzenbach, and a kill by Sarah Kalla.
Evans staying in to set here, so she'll get the reins to run this offense.
Back to Krause, but into the block. It was a big block by Layla Green on the left side.
Green and Page. Page does a nice job and helps get that close. But I believe Green, you're right, probably took most of that.
Chloe Cook out of Nacogdoches, Texas, with a tough serve, handled well. And then the hitting error on Nebraska. Nebraska in set number one had 5 attack errors. They've only had 5 combined since then. So much more efficient. Krause just kind of scoots that one over off the block of Melody Page, and it goes long. Point for Krause.
Page is really working hard to get closed to the outside, but she's not really balanced when she's getting there. But Krause's taking advantage of the hands and kind of seeing what's happening in front of her and making good decision.
So Haynes back in, and she will serve for Nebraska. Whitney Lonstein in the front row, along with Lexi Sun and Callie Schwarzenbach. 13-7, Nebraska here in the third. And the service error.
That would be 7 for Nebraska.
One of the other numbers that tells the story here is side out percentage. Nebraska siding out at almost 84%, which is remarkable. And they won't side out that one, but Campbell's just 48%. College volleyball, you side out somewhere between 65 and 70%. You're having a terrific night.
Yep.
And Nebraska at 86%. Left it for Sun. And the side out for the Huskers.
Sun's, I believe, first kill in the match.
Kinsey Knuckles in. Knuckles with 1 ace tonight. 3 digs, 4 kills. Overpass, Schwarzenbach.
Nice ball fed right up to Schwarzenbach, gets that hand up there and fires it right back at the Camels.
That is now 9 Huskers with at least 2 kills in the match. Nebraska's 2 middles, Caffey and Stivrins leading the way with 7.
Nice job there by Melody Page, coming in that quick attack right off the back of the setter. She's very athletic, you can see as she gets up quick.
Free ball opportunity off of a heavy swing by Lonstein. Then the other way they go to Kubik, and Kubik tools the block.
She is so good about tooling the block, especially that outside hand. She just really puts pressure on that outside blocker. And just because of the pace that she has on the ball, the velocity there, even if you are there, it's really difficult to control.
Into the antenna on the swing by Lonstein. Tried to go line, get it outside the block, but ran into the antenna. Layla Green now back to serve for the Camels. Middle, Stivrins.
Too low for,
Yep.
Can't get on top of that ball and sends it long.
So the Huskers will take a timeout at 16-12 here in set number 3. Camels have scored 3 of the last 4 points to get back into it here in the third, 16-12. John Cook taking the timeout. Didn't seem too pleased with the last couple of sets by Nebraska, but that was a terrific one by Haynes. Bump set over her head to Kubik with the kill.
Well, and Kubik is a player who can better the ball out of system. She takes a ball that isn't ideal, but just does really positive things with that.
Nakano with the serve. Good pass by Knuckles on the slide. Stivrins just tips it. Good adjustment by Page to keep that alive. And then Nebraska into the block. Stivrins and Haynes on the right side with the block.
Haynes does a nice job stepping in, taking that good setup. And then Stivrin, who closes so well. Wow, that just cleared the tape. Tough ball.
Solo by Stivrins in the middle. Lauren Stivrins with her 5th block of the match.
You get a chance to see that again. Stivrins just very disciplined as Green coming from that back row attack. Waits. The timing is key on those situations.
Coach Gorelton.
Fast feet. Her intuition about positioning and reading the situation. Her technique. Her control. I think all of those play into why she has been so outstanding.
Campbell right now being held to negative hitting percentage in the match, negative .051. That's only happened 4 other times in the NCAA tournament under John Cook, and that was an aggressive swing by Chloe Cook.
taking advantage of the one-on-one situation she had with Haynes. That's a good matchup for her, and don't get very many of those, and she really delivered.
Last time it happened was in 2010, Nebraska against Auburn. Off the block and the kill by Stivrins. Auburn hit negative 0-11, the lowest hitting percentage ever for an opponent in the NCAA tournament against Nebraska. Alabama A&M back in 2005 hit negative 0-72, and right now in the match, Campbell is hitting negative 0-38. Run the middle. That'll lower the average. The block for Stivrins. That is number 6 for Lauren Stivrins to go along with 8 kills.
And we talked about the middles being very productive for the Camels. Stivrins, though, has kind of slowed that down and made some adjustments and taken that away.
Nearly an ace by Kubik. On the slide, Stivrins with the tip. Oh, what an up.
Vector, I really am enjoying watching her.
She is dynamic.
Stivrins right there. Look at her, she's right in and back. Just her fast feet and gets to the ball. Kill number 9, hitting .412. So as you mentioned, 9 kills, 6 blocks. A good night for her.
There is Sun off the block. And Alexi Sun puts Nebraska 2 away. Out of the back row. Good up by Akana. Here is Sun from overhead, got a swing on it.
Nice job, tough ball.
Akana left hand to keep it alive. Kubik back row. Wow, what a shot by Maddie Kubik. Enough topspin to drop that right on the back line.
I think topspin and a little side spin on there as well, slicing it off.
Match point for Nebraska into the game for the Huskers. Kayla Myers into the game for the Huskers. Nebraska's middle. Tip not down. Secondary set, back to Sun. Free ball opportunity here for Nebraska. Haynes for the match. Not quite on top of that was Myers.
Haynes trying to get everybody a chance to get a kill.
Yeah. So Maddie Miter will now serve. Nebraska looking for the side out and the sweep. Miter again, not down. Other way, here's Sun. Good up. Bumps that back row. Kubik rolls it over. Kill by Melody Page. Third match point upcoming for Nebraska. It's going to take a fourth. Miner with serve. Haynes, back row. Overpass, Sun not down. A nice job by the Camels here. And then off of the hands of Lexi's son.
Kala on the right side again. Campbell's fighting.
.30, make it 4-0 scoring run now for Campbell. Son right in that back line, and that'll do it for Nebraska. Thought we might have a challenge there, but as I think we all waited and thought maybe that was out.
Yeah.
And I think Coach Gorell thought the same and was waiting and